Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video doing an unboxing, review, and first time shave test of the Manscaped Plow 2.0 double-edged or DE safety razor. This is a product that I actually received from the company for review in this video. So in the beginning of the video, we'll go over the general packaging and the features of the blade. We'll show you what it looks like up close. Then I'll walk through shaving with it for the first time for my entire face, and I'll give you general feedback as far as the overall quality of the shave and any tips that I notice in the process. As always, if you're interested in potentially purchasing this, I'll leave links in the description below for where you can either find it on Amazon or directly from the Manscaped website. All right, so here is the Plow 2.0 double edge or DE safety razor. Currently, if you look on the Manscaped website, you can get this for $35, and very similarly on Amazon, you can get it for $35, so you can pick either website to order from. They also have replacement blades for this. We'll show you the blades later on. That come in a pack of 30 from the Manscaped website for about $18, which is very cheap and affordable for DE blades. So always look into that as well. As far as what they sent me the actual the Plow blade, so we'll look at that in a second. And very interestingly, they actually sent me a t-shirt. I haven't looked at the t-shirt, but I don't know if everybody gets this, but we'll just look at it real quick just for the novelty of it. So it says Manscaped here, and it says your balls will thank you, which is pretty interesting. And then we'll look at the back, and very similarly, it says Manscaped, your balls will thank you. I don't know if I'll actually wear this in public, but I'll wear it for the video when I shave my face. But that's the t-shirt they sent me, so I'll definitely wear it in a second when I change, because I don't want to shave my face shirtless like many people do on YouTube. But that's the t-shirt they send me. Hopefully they send you that as well when you make an order. But let's take a look at the actual blade itself. So the packaging is very elegant and nice. So it says Manscaped. It has the Plow 2.0 label on the front. It lists that it's a single blade double-edged face safety razor. So this is really for your face only. You really should not use it for pubic or genital shaving, because you're likely going to cut that area, but they're very well known for those products, so look into their other products as far as those types of products. And then very small text here down here. It does list some general features. It does say that it helps prevent skin irritation and shaving bumps. That's very common for DE or double-edged blades because there's only going to be a single blade. So as compared to a multi-blade razor, you're not going to lift your hair up and the actual pour up and shave and irritate the skin. So this is something that I switched to about 15 to 20 years ago, way back, for shaving purposes, because I had a lot of irritation with the multi-blade, like the Gillette blades, and I've never had issues as far as acne and breaking out ever switching to a blade like this. So it's something that if you've never tried this before, I highly recommend it, and it's way more affordable as compared to like your traditional cartridge type razors. And then on the bottom here, it also lists that it's precision weighted for a balanced shave. So the unique thing about this is that they have like balance weighted this so that it's better in your hand so that it doesn't slip, and it's more balanced as far as the head compared to the actual handle, so that it's just a better overall shave experience. And another thing they mentioned is that this is brass design, so it's rust resistant, so the longevity of the razor will be longer because it's not going to have issues as far as water exposure. The rest of the packaging is very similar. They've got some information on the back as far as the actual handle design. So they said that it's designed with to cut at the skin level to prevent razor burn, bumps, and irritation, so it doesn't irritate your skin specifically. The blade itself has sharp edges, so it's going to be a clean shave without pulling or tugging. So that's one thing that's unique about these, is when you have a blade like this, because it's sharper, it's going to cut more precisely, but you're not going to pull and tear at your actual hair, so you're going to have much less irritation with that. Then there's going to be a combed area here that's actually going to pull your skin taut, so you get a closer shave. And then the handle has a textured handle, which should be very nice, because if your hand gets wet, it won't slip or anything like that. So let's just get this out of the packaging. I did open it up briefly, but here's what it looks like. So it says, welcome to the Manscaped movement, has the website here, and then we'll just open this up. And so it's a very nice, elegant packaging. They've got a little insert here, the razor blade itself, and then they have the blade or the blades here. So I don't know how many blades. So they have 1, 2, 3 blades in here. Typically, depending on the coarseness or how big a beard or facial hair you have, you'll get anywhere from upwards of like 2 to 10 shaves out of these blades. A lot of times you have to try out many different blades to see which one works best for your facial hair. But this one actually comes with 3, so try these blades out, see if it works for you. And then if you're interested in replenishing these, they do have on their website where you can get them for a pack of 30 of these for about $18, which is pretty cheap as far as the cost. So usually when you get that many blades, you'll get almost like months or even upwards of years worth of shaving out of that, as compared to like a cartridge razor, which I don't even know the cost of those. They're like $20, $30 for like 6 of them or something like that, and you spend an exorbitant amount of money with that. So this is way cheaper, way better, much better quality. I've been doing this for like 15, 20 years, but I'll get off my soapbox. Now as far as the blade, so this is what it looks like. So it's this gray design, pretty elegant and unique. So we'll tighten it. It was loose in the packaging, but on the bottom here is a textured handle. So there's no rubber. There's no like anything that kind of will get slippery on this. So it's textured. It'll stay in your hand as far as gripping, which is nice. That's a well thought out design. The alternative would be is if they left this like sheen area here and extended it down. If you left here or gripped here and it got wet, it'd probably slip. So the fact that they have a textured handle is well thought out. As far as the DE style, it's very similar to other razors. So what you have here is there's going to be a top part that when you unscrew this bottom part will come apart. You're going to have an insert that's going to have 3 prongs. The razor blade is actually going to insert onto this, and then what you'll do is you'll close it. So I'll just take out one of these razor blades just so you can see if you're new to this. But the razor blade itself is very similar to other razor blades. It has the Manscaped label here. It says premium stainless as far as the blade itself. Has a kind of very similar design on the back here. And then what you do is, first off, there's a Manscaped label here, which is nice too. It's kind of engraved there. It's hard to see on the camera. But basically what you do is you put the razor blade in here. For those of you that have never used this, it's going to insert on all 3 prongs. Then you're going to take out here to take out this piece, and then basically put the handle and then just screw it tight. You don't have to screw it too tight. Just make sure it's all the way snug and that the head of the blade does not rotate. So if you notice that it's rotating, just tighten it up all the way. And then once it's snug, you won't have any issues as far as it's slipping or anything like that. And then if you look at this closely, what basically how this works, if you're unfamiliar with it, is basically there's a piece here that's smooth, and then there's a comb here that'll grip your skin, and then the razor blade does stick out a little bit. So you're gonna have to angle this appropriately with your skin when you're shaving, so that the blade actually kind of like cuts rather than just kind of glances along your skin. It's very nuanced. You have to like try it out, but overall this is what it looks like. I like the design, the elegance of it. I like the simplicity of it. It looks like something that'll last very long, and the fact that it's $35 for this is very affordable. When you look into double-edged blades, they can get extremely expensive very quickly. So if you find something that's cheap, affordable, and lasts for a long time, you won't have to replace these for upwards of decades sometimes, depending on the overall quality. And the fact that it's a brass design and it's rust resistant is one thing that kind of will prevent it from breaking or having issues. In the past, the only time I've ever had to replace one of these is actually when not this specific blade, but when you tighten this up, sometimes if the like screw mechanism fails over time. I had to replace one blade with that, but this is a nice replacement blade that hopefully I'll be able to use for decades to come. But that's what it looks like out of the packaging. I think it's really elegant, very nice. And so this is the Plow 2.0. Now what we'll do is we'll get to shaving and we'll test this out on my actual. All right, so as promised, I did put on my Manscaped t-shirt. However, because of the camera angle, in order to shave, you can't really see it, which is unfortunate. But we'll get started with actually testing out the Plow 2.0. For this video, I'm not gonna go through too many instructions as far as wet shaving. For those of you that haven't done this before, you can refer to other videos. There's many out there, but we'll just walk through the basic steps. So first is getting shave soap on your actual face and wetting your face. So let me do that real quick. And so you just want to lather your entire face. And now my Manscaped shirt is covered with shave soap, but it's okay. so once you have the shave soap, then you shave in, there's several ways to do this, but basically what you're gonna do is, it's hard on camera, but basically you're gonna take the blade, get it at an angle slightly where the blade's actually gonna touch your skin, and then you're gonna just take slow, long strokes to actually shave your face. And I'm gonna kind of look in the mirror as doing this. Hopefully the angle is good enough, but it might not be the best. So here, and I'll say that based on just this, so this is what it looks like after one shave. My face wasn't too hairy, but this blade does work very well. It's basically shaved all the way down to my skin. It's pretty much smooth entirely. There's a couple areas where it's kind of spotchy, but it's not terrible. It's very, very smooth as compared to my traditional blade I use. I really like it, and the fact that it provides tactile and noise feedback is nice, because then you know that you're not pulling your hair or like at risk of actually cutting yourself. So the overall blade seems pretty good as far as the quality. We'll just continue now. All right, and then because it's double edged, you can use both sides, so that's a nice convenient thing. So you can use one side and then the other. Obviously I've used both sides already, so now we're gonna rinse it off just to eliminate all the hairs there, and then we're gonna go to this side, which hopefully is a little bit better. And so you just do it like this, okay? And I have to say, I really like this blade. Like the fact that it's shaving extremely smoothly, it's shaving straight like down to the skin, and it's not pulling at all, and you do not have to press at all. The balanced weight of it is really nice, where you don't have to press like down or push at all, which is nice because you're not at risk of cutting yourself, which for a beginner is a very nice feature to have. If you have a blade that's gonna like more weighted or heavier, you're more at risk of cutting yourself itself, or the blade's gonna pull and then it's gonna tug. So the fact that they made those notes on their packaging, I'm not lying, but it does seem like it does correspond with what they're promoting for this blade, which is a nice feature. Okay, and then I'm gonna do under my nose, or like my mustache area. This area is always at risk of like cutting yourself if you kind of scrape up towards your nose, so you wanna just be very careful here and kind of like pull down your face, go like this. And this is something I always notice. If you look here, these hairs always, it's very hard to get the angle to not cut your nose, but then actually cut the hairs. So what I do in this area is I flip it upside down and then come upwards. So that's that. So this is what it looks like after one shave. There's a little bit of hair here that I missed, kind of underneath my chin a little bit, but overall this is very smooth. It's very similar to a straight razor as far as the closeness. I really like it so far. Now what we'll do is real quick, I'm gonna shave again, go through the next step of this. Okay, so my second go around when I shave, I do it at a slight angle. So it's gonna be, rather than straight down like this, it's gonna be at a slight angle like this, like a, I don't know, 45-degree angle. And that's gonna just cut the hair a little bit closer. And so we're just gonna fly through this time and see how it comes out at the end. But this basically eliminates any extra straggles of hair or hair that's sticking out. And it just gets a nicer, closer shave, as far as not missing any areas. And I have to say, I really like this blade a lot. It's very easy to use. As far as not tugging or anything like that. And this second go around, it seems to be catching everything as far as like the missing straggling hairs. All right, and I did notice that if you can tell, with me flipping over the blade, there's a little bit of cuts there, bleeding. All you need is a stick pencil when you use that. That'll stop the bleeding immediately. But that's pretty much my whole face shaved. So let me rinse off real quick. And then I'll towel dry. So overall, I'll say that with the Plow 2.0 as a DE safety razor, I think it's a great razor. From my personal experience, I'm not lying about it. The fact that the blade works very nice, it doesn't tug, it doesn't pull, it's not too sharp, and it cuts immediately. I think it's a really good entry blade from that standpoint. The angle is a little bit nuanced. That's something that you have to get used to with any DE safety razor blade when you first use it. It's going to be different for every single blade, so that's something you do have to try out. But the closest in the this is a really close shave, and the current razor I'm using, which is, I think it's the Edwin Jaeger with the extra sharp derby blades. The derby blades don't get this close a shave, so I highly recommend this. It's very comparable in price to the Edwin Jaeger, so I'd highly recommend it. I wouldn't have any regrets with purchasing this. So for $35, you can get the Plow 2.0 either directly through Amazon or on the Manscaped website. They offer a replenishment blade system where you can get 30 blades for $18, which is much more cheaper and affordable as compared to cartridge razors. So for those of you that have not used a blade like this, I highly recommend it. Just purchase it, try it out. Check out different videos as far as testing out like the technique and that sort of thing, but just test it out, try it out, be careful. Sometimes you do cut yourself, so I recommend getting a styptic pencil as far as like these areas where you do get some bleeding, but they usually stop on their own without any issues. So if you have questions, comments, post them below, but I highly recommend this blade as an entry blade, as an ongoing continuous blade. The texture on it's really nice. It's just for a first time shave with this, it was a pleasant experience, and doing this on camera is difficult because you're trying to pay attention and everything like that. So I think that it worked out really well as far as the overall blade quality and build and construction and everything like that. So post any questions below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you're interested in subscribing to my channel, you can subscribe now as well.